Hello, hello, Credo. Let me know if you are here, and let me know if you can hear me. Get my cable out of the way. Devin said she can hear. Fantastic. Just a reminder tonight, if you guys have any questions as we're going through rehearsal, go ahead and type those in the chat so I can see those and address those in a timely fashion. All right, we're going to go ahead and start warming up because we're going to get started right around 6:02 on the music. We have Jim's recording that Jim and I made the other night, so we finally have our accompaniment for the Stanford. So we're going to be going over that a little bit tonight as well. All right. Just humming 3 notes, please. It's as low as I go. Mark is saying, your audio is fine, but your video is glitzy, he said. Let me double check and make sure that we are good to go on that. All right, this should be going. I got nothing else. I hope it's working for you. Let me know if it's working for you at home, and then we can, if not, we'll see what I can do. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep going. Hello, agreed on the video. I'm still getting that. Oh, that's bizarre. Let's see if this is working. Aha, okay, I'm back. Let's see if the video has fixed itself from here. All right, here we go. I'm doing a lot of these on a V, and some of you might be going, oh my God, why am I singing this high on a V? What that does is it promotes you to move your airflow, and it kind of helps you, it keeps you from pushing with these little muscles in here, and helps you really, really depend on the airflow to get the pitch up, okay? I'm seeing that everybody's saying it looks better. Fantastic. For those of you wondering, I got off of my Wi-Fi, and I am now hardwired, plugged in, so hopefully we're good. Let's do 2 more, then we'll get going. siren. Shoo! And see how far you can take that without your head voice flipping. This is for the guys and also ladies, keeping that in the placement up. Okay. Real fast, just go ahead and start with your lowest pitch, and this is going to be a vocal fry, so it's going to be a that's what we're looking for. Go ahead and do that. It just, for all kicks and grins, it kind of just knocks off the dust a little bit, because how much have you been using your entire vocal range throughout the pandemic? I don't know about you, but I have not been doing so much. Okay, so just take a minute to get reacquainted with all those different places. I think it's important that we're doing that. Okay, we're going to let you continue that on your own time, but for right now, we're going to hop in to Rejoice. We're going to start with Rejoice tonight, then we're going to go over the Selig sind, and then we're going to go into the Magnificat. We'll finish up with that, okay? All right, so a couple things on the Rejoice. Hello, Chemex. Hello, Jeff. Hello. A couple things on the Rejoice. Just a reminder of the intro. It's out of context, right? And when we get to the pick up to bar 11 where the piano comes in, that's a big flipped R. With re, it's not a re, it's a rejoice. With rejoice, okay? And we're holding the open O. Okay? Tonight we'll do the repeats. If I can manage to flip my iPad and play at the same time and not stop. We're going to do the repeat. And then what I'm going to do is, I want you to go ahead and get the feel of, once we've already sung this part, just to remind us what this sounds like. I'm going to play through where the solo parts come in. And then we are going to enter back in on the bottom of 11. Okay? Bottom of 11. And just a side note, soprano ones on bar 65, that high A where it says 1, 2 sopranos singing an ah, that we're not doing that. That's going to be a nix, the high A. That does not need to be there. And then we'll come back in right there. And for everybody wondering, page 11 is a repeat, right? It's an exact replication of what you've already sang until we get to page 14, bar 84. And that's when we go into different things, okay? All right, let's go ahead and start from the top of this. Hello, Jane Long. I see you here too. Jane Adams, Shirley. It's lovely to see all of your little icon faces in the chat bar. All right, here we go. 3 and 4. Lift. And a lift. 1 and 2 and metric. Tenor lift. Altos and baritones move. Lift, flip the R or the re, and sing praises to the Lord. And rejoice. 1 and 2 and 3. magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. Da-da-da-dee-da-dee-da. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. 1 and 2 and 3, rejoice. Sing praises to the Lord our God. Rejoice. There is power in the name of the Lord. 1 and 2 and 3. And then we're getting to the thing. And then we're doing that whole other chunk, okay? Now, I didn't stop. That was just straight through, essentially kind of what it's going to sound like, right? But we're going to have Jennifer on the alto, on the female solo, and then we'll have Jake on the tenor solo. And so, as you can tell, that's definitely going to add some soul to the mix, which is what we're definitely looking for. What I want you guys to take home real fast is there's that one turn that's different than what we've been doing, okay? And where does that happen? Well, that happens at the bottom of 13, okay? This is, so let's give him praise. And that's the turn. So let's go ahead and start top of page 12, bar 70. The chords are still the same, different words, right? There is power in the name of the Lord. 1, 2, 3. He will see you through it all. Just have faith. He will answer your call. So let's give him praise. And that's what we're looking for. That's the turn. And that's where it's going to happen, okay? And who has the biggest, not the biggest, but the most rhythmically, you must be aware, altos. Because what happens altos, bottom of 13, we have one, he will answer your call, so let's give him praise. You lead the charge, right? Jennifer, yeah, I can't tell you how much soul I did not have trying it just now. LOL. I know, I'm sure. Now, I'm not the best person to use for your litmus test on how much soul you're putting into this, but I trust you in advance. So, altos, make a quick note, please. Starting on page 13, you lead the charge on the bottom system. So go ahead and mark that everybody is listening for the alto to resolve. He will answer your call, so let's give him praise. We need to hear that, and everybody needs to be listening for that. So that's that. He will answer your call, so let's give him praise. Okay? And that's what we're looking for right there. And then once we get to that, that's where we have the little change and it's off rhythm. Okay, this is where it gets a little different than what we've been doing. So let's start. So let's give him praise. Let's actually speak this real fast. The bottom of 13, pick up to the last measure. So let's give. So you get 1, 2. So let's give him praise. 1 and 2 and clap your hands today. 1 and 2. Let us rejoice and sing out his praises. Rejoice, rejoice. Again I say rejoice. And then we'll talk about where we're going to go later. Okay? Let's do this with pitches, please. And actually, I'm going to isolate. Let's do our basses and our baritones, because I just think it sounds easy, but it's really fast. And so you really have to have this in your ear and in your body, okay? Top of 13, I lied. Bottom of 12. I apologize. Bottom of 13, 11 pages. So let's give him praise. Bass and baritone. Here we go. 1 and 2 and. Bump, 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2. And then you're home free, okay? Just make sure you have that ready to go. All right, let's go ahead and add in, please, altos with the basses. Same place, bottom of 13, last 2 bars. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Sorry. And then we had this. 2, 3, ba da dee da ba. All right. Everybody, please, we're going to add in the sopranos. Sopranos, this is an easy split, an easy part for y'all. It's the same thing you've been doing. Yes? Easy, cheesy peasy. Tenors, there's not a split. Life is good. It's the same thing you've been doing since the beginning of time. Yes? Okay, here we go. Bottom of 13, so let's give him praise. Tenor, alto, soprano. So let's give 1 and 2 and. And 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2. Rejoice, and then at that point it says to fill it in 2, and then that's what we'll get there. Okay? All right, that's all we're doing on that right now. I know most of you know this, but I just need to keep this in your brain until we get ready to record this / do it in person. Okay? All right, let's take a look, please, now at Selig sind die Toten. And I'm going to turn on movie magic. And then turn back on keyboard. And then I'm going to cheat because I'm not going to transpose on site because I don't feel like doing that. But what I am going to do is have it do it digitally. Okay. Here we go, from the top, everybody. And here's a couple things. We're only going to do one chunk at a time. This is just to remind us about the entrances of what this is going to sound like, right? It's not very hard harmonically. You just have to count. And I know a lot of you are going, but this is in 2/2, and it's not in 4/4. You can cheat and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, or if you want to do it the right way, you can go 1 and 2 and your preference, whatever you want to do. Here we go, from the top. Ready? Moving quarters. Tenor 2s coming in. Bass. Alto. Tenor 1. Baritones are starting us off. Tenor 2s are starting. 15. Good. Now I want to stop right there for a quick second. Soprano 2s, now you have a deceptively difficult part, and you can make this as easy or as hard as you would like. And I want you to go ahead and take a look at bar 15. This is soprano 2s. You live within the texture, that is this. You kind of live in this little area. Okay, but you have this lovely octave jump that happens. Notice in the texture you lose it, but you know it's there, right? So bar 15, pick up the 15, you'll have 1 selig sind, selig sind, selig sind die Toten. And now here's the deal. I don't want you to make a big deal about this. And when you do the octave jump, when you get to the next page, boom, selig sind die Toten. Those next 3 words that you're going to be singing, I don't want you to articulate those. Those need to be almost like you've gone to the dentist and he's given you a shot of Novocaine and you can't pronounce many things. So if I were you, please, soprano 2s, when you get there at bar, pick up 15, you'll have your selig sind, selig sind, selig sind die Toten. We are so much more worried about you just being in that pocket of sound as opposed to articulating selig sind die Toten. Not what we're looking for, okay? All right, so let's go back real fast. And let's go ahead and start back up at where the baritone start us off. Everybody, this is the bottom of page 1, second system, the 4th bar, where the tenor, I keep calling you baritones, where the tenor 2s come in on that beat, the 1 of and, okay? 1 selig sind. Here we go, ready? And selig. 1, Z, out. Here it comes, soprano twos. Where's the lax? Tenor ones, soprano twos, alto, new theme, tenor twos, duets, tenor one, tenor two, tenor one, duet, bass and soprano, tenor two, and then good. And now I want to stop really fast right here. And this is, notice it's the same thing with the soprano twos. If you've circled this maybe in your music at bar 30, what is this, 31, 32, soprano twos, you have the one rhythm that's different. It's that dotted quarter eighth thing, yeah? So on bar 30, the sopranos had just came in and went 1, die in den Herren sterben, die in den Herren sterben, sterben. And that is, I love that part because everything's offbeat, right? So the most important part on the top system of that page 3 is the soprano 2. But it doesn't mean we have to be loud there. It just means you have to be interesting. And if you really lean into your rhythmic differences and your offbeats, that does it for you. It does everything you need it to do. Okay. So let's do that, please. And let's have the altos, soprano twos and altos. Okay. This is top of page 3. And altos, just a quick reminder. Die in den Herren sterben. And make sure you get down to that 5th altos. I know that gave us a little trouble a couple weeks ago. Okay, here we go. Soprano 2 starting us off. Die in den Herren. Ready? And 2 and die in den Herren. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, di da di. And that's what that's supposed to sound like right there. Let's do that one more time. And now notice it's 1 bum 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 bum. That's what's going on. Okay, same place. Ready? And 4 and die in den Herren, die in den 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and tippen. And that's what we're looking for right there. Okay. Let me see here. So you want to stop the feeling on measure 16. You're asking. That's a long way back. Sind selig sind der. I think, Jane, on bar 16, the soprano 2s, you're in the texture, right? And you're actually pretty low in your voice right there. So yes, we can get away with a little lift in the catch breath. This is on bar 16 between, we're gonna pretend we're in 4/4, between beat 3 and beat 4, or the between 2 and the end of 2. Okay, yeah, little lift right there, so you can reset the palate and lift and breathe in a higher spot. Let me see. Yes, you have, Jane said, I have all sopranos sing together at bar 30. Yes, and the reason being is we can just help get this in the texture, and you get in a place where we can find the same E that's already in progress. Okay. Bottom of 2, please, Shirley. Okay, bottom of 2, Shirley in specific. I guess you just want to hear it. Okay. Yeah, so here's the deal. The altos are responsible. I just circled this in my music too. The altos are responsible for the turn here. By turn, I mean it doesn't go where we want it to go. Yeah. So let's start at bar 25. You'll get this little. You'll hear this from the guys. So you'll have 1, and then you join them with a duet between the S2s and the altos. Same pitches, except an octave above. Yeah. 1 D in alto. 1 and 2 and a 1 and D. And then we have an octave lined up with the bass alto. So when you get to your Ben of sterben, that Ben lines up with the basses. Okay, let's do that one more time. So I'll start with the guys on 25. There's my bass. There's my tenor. Tenor twos are doing their thing. But here we go. Duet. Ready? And D in D in da dee da dee da. And here's the deal. It's gonna sound wrong when the tenor twos are singing with you altos on your Sterben, particularly the B natural, because what do you have in the tenor line? Tenor two line, you have this on Sterben. That's a lovely, Bach would not approve. He would say this is bad part writing because you have parallel, you have a tritone. Okay, it's going to sound weird, but yes, that's correct. Okay, let me see, Grace 2, yes, all sopranos, but we're talking about going up at bar 30. That is correct. Okay, all right, let's pick back up where we just left off, and let's get back into that. We're going to start back with, where did I go? Okay, starting back on the first page with the baritones coming in. Baritones coming in. Here we go. This is bottom system, fourth bar. Zig, zig, zig. Soprano 2. Zig, zig, dee-do. Relaxing. Soprano 1. Tenor. Soprano. Alto. Tenor. Duet. Alto duet. Soprano 2, in den Herren sterben. 1 and 2. Tenor 2, ja, 1, ja. Der Geist spricht, ja, 1 and. Credo 2, cross voicing. So F natural. Good, and then we're going to stop right there. A couple of things, everybody, let's go back real fast. We just had our, if we look on page 3, bottom of 3, this is bar 40. This is a completely different theme, right? So we have this almost fanfare-esque. Yeah, let me go back and find it real fast. That's the next thing. Right there. Okay. And that's bar 40. And noticing a theme here, that the tenor twos are starting these new sections. Have you noticed that? Up to this point, this is the second time where the tenor twos have started a new theme. Okay? Ya, ya, ya. And then that goes into this next little thing. And you need to have it in your music marked that you know at bar 40, that is trumpet fanfare. We're doing is big, completely different character. Okay? So let's get into that real fast. And if you have moving eighth notes, altos, make sure that you bring those out, but don't give them weight. Okay? Make them be interesting by just the virtue of the rhythmic device. Okay? Here we go. So, der Geist spricht, ja, ja, der Geist spricht, sie ruht. Brand new section now. Okay? This Sie ruhen, and this, so we all know the H is silent. Sie ruhen. All it is. After we have finished bar 44 or bar 45, completely different character shift back to the old style. Okay. Soprano twos, I keep coming to you right here. You have these, they're they're tucked away and they happen sporadically, and they're in the texture, but they're hard to find sometimes just because they're in the middle of everything. Let's start at bar 40, sopranos, both soprano parts. Yaw, yaw. It's weird. It sounds weird out of context, but let's go ahead and start right there. Bar 40, this is der, picking up into 41. Der Guy spricht. Soprano 2, soprano 1, 1, and der Guy spricht. 1, ja, der Guy spricht. 0. And that's where we're into the new thing, okay? Notice soprano twos, we have 3 A's on the bottom of page 3, last bar. So we have this ja, der Geist. That's what we're listening for from both sopranos right there, okay? Where I find that it might throw you is on the top of 4 first bar, soprano twos, because you go to flip your page, ja, der, nothing on the downbeat. And so you have all this energy that you're building, and then you don't sing anything on the rest, right? Well, rest can be loud, okay? In your brain, that rest needs to be enormous, and it should be the loudest rest you've heard at this point. So it would be ja, der Geist spricht, and that needs to da, let her rip, okay? And what I mean by rip is der Ga, not much accent on the G of Geist. Let the sound start and then let it blossom. Der Geist spricht. Makes sense, I hope. Okay. Let me see here. Good. No questions as of yet. We'll see if there are any questions when we get back to that. So let's go ahead and start once more, please. Now we've addressed that. Tenors, you know your moving notes on top of page 4, that first bar. Da, di, da, di, spricht, zero. Different character, yes? Great. Should S2s hold spricht until the downbeat of bar 43? 40, 41, 42, 43. So no. So what's going to happen? Everybody, that's a great question, Grace. Everybody on, unless you're a tenor 2, when you're singing your yaw, everybody should lift on the and of 2. This is on the bottom of page 3, second to last bar, excuse me, make sure you're drinking water, please. On the word spricht, we're going to go, der Geist spricht, ja, spricht, ja. That's what we're looking for right there. So it's technically the happens on the and of 2, unless you're a tenor 2, because then at that point you're in the middle of ya, in the middle of doing your yaws. Okay. All right, let's go back right here, bottom of page 3, picking up to bar 40, and then we're gonna go into the next part, Ziruhen. Okay. Here we go, if I can find it. And spricht, ja, der Geist spricht, zero, growing, and then decrescendoing, zero, grow, alto, soprano 2. Across the bar, lift. Basses are starting us off right here. Grow basses, tenor 2s, soprano 1s. Relax, new part. To the same as the old. crescendo across the bar. If you have tides, relax. Tenor twos join. Basses join. Watch the E flat basses. Same as the last thing. Soprano twos. Alto. Und ihre Party. Und ihre Werke. Und ihre Werke. Duets. And then we're home free, I hope. Okay. That last page, last two pages essentially, it's pretty involved, but just a reminder, top of page 7, last bar, altos, we made a change, right? We said all the altos are going to hold that half note, turn it into a whole note, we're going to hold it the entire length of the bar. And then the soprano ones are going to join the soprano twos on bar 91 on the Und ihre Werke folgen ihnen. And then you get to do your thing for your part, okay? That's a quick reminder of those edits that we made right there. And altos, bar 95, make sure that, just reminder, if I start two bars before where you come in altos, und ihre Werke folgen ihnen nach, und ihre Werke folgen ihnen nach, folgen ihnen nach. Holding it forever in the day. And then altos on bar 100. I want you to go into the and of 2, if you can, please. Which I know you can. I know I'm not asking something you can't give me there. Go to the and of 2, please, before you release. Okay? Let's take a quick look at what's important at the end. Okay? Bar 91. This is where this whole new thing starts, right? If you have the moving eighth notes, that's important. And just like our previous last 2 times, what did we say? Make it important, not by adding weight or singing it loudly. Make it important strictly by leaning into the rhythmic aspect of it. And everyone else who's singing at this point, I'm asking you to be aware of the other voice parts. Everybody, collective gasp. It's almost like you should know what the other voice parts are going to be doing right there, so you know when to get out of the way, right? So at bar 91, starting with the moving eighth notes, we should hear the following things. So I'll go slow. We'll have und ihre, und ihre, und ihre. Every time we hear this und ihre Werke, that's what I should hear for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars total. We need to hear und ihre Werke before we get to the top in the last 2 bars when the sopranos come back in with the same ba-da-bum-bum. Okay, so let's go ahead and start, everybody, at bar 90, if I can find it in the music, in this wave file. Aha! Okay, maybe. Let's see, one more time. All right, here we go. Side note, the part that happens right before this on bar 90 is my favorite part of this entire piece of music. Okay, all right, here we go. So... Und ihre Werke, und ihre. And now we're doing our thing. Folgen. Soprano. Tenors. Und ihre Werke folgen, und ihre Werke. And then we're home free, hopefully. Okay, we'll do more on that later. Let's get on to new things. Let me see, what it was this. Yes, I live for the suspensions in this piece. That is spot on. I cannot wait for us to dig in, and by dig I just mean just lean into all the tension. Yeah, all the tension in this piece when we're together, because it's going to be glorious, glorious, glorious. All right, let's take a look at the Stanford. No, before we do that, Precious Lord. This is precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on through me. That thing. Oh, and let me let me very quickly modulate our keyboard back down to normal pitch, because you don't want to sing this a whole step higher. All right. All right, here we go. From the top. I hate this piano patch, but it is what it is. Okay, so remember, quick thing on the very beginning, super important. Precious Lord. We want to get through those consonants really fast, and we want to, I don't want to say, I'm not going to use the word explode. We want to move quickly, and then we want to use the lovely open vowels. Precious Lord. That's what we're looking for, okay? So, just because I sing tenor, or actually I sing alto. Real fast, so as an example, just so you have it. Precious Lord. What we're looking for, okay? All right, here we go. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. Ready? And precious Lord, lift, take my hand, lead me, relax. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and down. I am weak. Through the smoke, keep the pulse, keep the pulse. Guide me. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Take my hand, Lord, and lead. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, bum, bum. That's all we're going to do on that for a quick second to remind ourselves some things. Let's do real fast before we get into musical things. Let's quick pitch recap. Top of page 4. This is "Lead Me On to the Night." This is right before that. Take my hand, take my hand, take my hand. Yeah. Let's do the bass, baritone, and altos. This is all the crunch. All of the crunch. I have all the faith that you can do this. Basses, I hate this for you. It's super hard to tune, but you have chromatic fifths. Lead me on, lead me on. And then the alto ones join you with the baritones. Lead me on. Up an octave. So the baritones and alto ones are doing the same thing an octave apart. Okay? So let's add that, please. And then the alto twos. Well, you get to sing 2 notes. But it's the crunchy and the lovely notes. Here we go. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bum, 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 bum. And take my hand. 1, 2, 3, Lord. Okay, and baritones, you get a little help from the tenors right there on the word home, so life is pretty easy on that. But just know, bass, baritone, and altos, you are the key to this being successful. Okay. Jane, what parts are you assigning to the sopranos? That's a great question, isn't it? So I don't want to tell you the wrong thing, but I do believe I might have said this to myself in a conversation I had with myself. If I didn't include you all in it, well, here it is. So what I'm planning on is standard divisi. That's what I'm planning on. But just know that if your name is Jane Long or Lydia, then you might be pitch hitting with alto 1 / soprano 2. Not quite sure yet. Okay. I reserve the right to move you. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about that. So as of right now, keep your standard VC. We're gonna have, let's only have 2 soprano 1s. So just Grace and Devin on the tops. Our rest of our sopranos, Jane, and Lydia on S2. And then our regular divisi for the altos, which you know who you are and you know what you sing. Let me see here. Does that answer your questions? Jennifer Johnson. Oh my God, I love being an alto right now. Ha 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 ha. I know. I wish I was an alto sometimes too. All right, so let's go back real fast. We did the parts. I want us to do 2 things, and then we'll leave this alone. I want you to focus on how we're approaching and leaving these notes, okay? We did our first thing, right? We did our precious Lord, take my hand. And then when we get to bar 5 and moving forward, there's a different feel that I want you all to, there's a lot of nuance that we're going to start building in with this. And it's going to take conscious effort until you make that your go-to thing on this, okay? So if we start on Lead Me On, this is bar 5. I just want you to take a listen to how we're going to do this. So I have Lead Me On. Just that. That's a whole different thing than what's written on the page, right? So we have soft, and we'll grow. Lead me on. And it's a fake out. And we do not accent the downbeat. If anything, we go so far back on dynamic volume, it throws you for a loop. Okay? So you have to be flexible and nimble. Okay? So let's do that again. Here's your parts. Lead, 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 lead. Ready? And lead. Lead me on. Let me stand. And now, this next part, open up. I don't mean get loud. I mean give more weight and depth into your sound. Okay, so bar 5, 6, 7, and 8, it's kind of untethered. It feels a little unsettled, right? Because of where the basses are. But when we get to the what are we saying? I'm tired. I'm weak. I'm worn. We get to use that and kind of feel, I know we're all feeling a little tired and worn right now with where we are in the pandemic. Let some of that come out. Okay, so right here at I am tired. Ready? And go. I am tired. I am weak. I am worn. Great. Now we just did something completely different than what's written on the music, right? On bar 15 and 16, we have crescendo, 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 crescendo. No. We're going to take some liberty right here. I'm not going to do that. We're going to start on worn, crescendo, yeah. This is on top of 3 last bar. Worn. Backing off on that. So now when we get to through the storm, through the night, leading those next 2 phrases, as a group of our size, we can make better use of those. And that way we have somewhere to go with our crescendo. Okay? We're not a chancel choir. we are a smaller ensemble. We pick our battles and we make the most out of the little things we do. Okay? All right. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. So let's start, please, at I am weak. This is top of 3, second bar. I am weak. Growing on after the downbeat. 1 and backing off. Now we go somewhere through the storm. Lift through the night. Guide my feet. And now here's the last thing. How did we handle top of 4, those next 4 bar phrases? Okay. We know on the prior page bar, bottom of page 3 on Through the Storm. Through the storm, through the night. Right there. Yes, my wife is telling me check the time. I know the time. Thank you. All right, so when we get to the Through the Night on bar 20, just like we did at the very beginning, on precious Lord, that little accent on the turn. When we get to the word night, I want you to accent it, and what I want you to do is get through the N and pop open to the ah vowel. Nah. It's literally one of those nah. And that's how I want you to approach the word night. So it'd be through the night and grow into that. Okay? And now what you think you want to do is continue that crescendo, but no, we're not. We're going to now take it back down on Lead Me On. So it's through the night, lead me on to the night. And when we get to the light, on the word light, we're going to relax into the word light, use the L on that. To the light, yada dee. And that's when we get to change characters again, okay? So I wanted this cover on this. I just wanted you to hear it, and we'll get to that point. The next part, we'll talk later, okay? All right, let's go take a look at our Selig sind die Toten. And without further ado, we're going to run this. I just want to run it one time with the new accompaniment that we have. All right. Here we go. Ready for it. Soprano solo. My soul doth magnify the Lord, and my spirit hath rejoiced in God my Savior, for he hath did the lowliness of his handmaiden. From henceforth all generations shall call me blessed, blessed, blessed. Lift, thou doth magnify me, and holy is his name. Holy, holy is his name. And his mercy is on them that fear throughout all generations. He hath shown strength with his arm. He hath scattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts. He hath put down the mighty from their seat. The only one seat. He hath filled the hungry with good thing, and the rich he hath sent empty away. Lift, remembering his mercy, remembering his mercy, hath opened his servant Israel. Kill holding ladies. 1, 2, 1. As he promised to our fathers, Abraham and his seed, and forever. F soprano solo, duets. He promised forever. The, no ers, but a the. Boom. And then off. Yes, Jane Long, the Knights of Nick from earlier. All right, so I just wanted to run through with you on this, and I want you to notice two things. One, Jim did a fantastic job. This is extremely hard to play, and I'm happy that I have a damper and a sustain pedal that I don't have to play all these notes at one time. But he did, and he does. And so whenever you see him, buy him a drink because he worked hard for this. And two, you're exposed. Notice that when we practice with the choir track and you hear the choir singing "Life is Good," everything fills in. But I want you to notice how sparse that the accompaniment is, especially on these entrances, and knowing when you have to keep that pulse. Okay, I've already given you the track, so I know you have it to practice on. We'll start breaking this down a little bit more before we get ready to record, but just know that and I know the organ isn't a percussion instrument, so but Jim he did a great job keeping those eighth note pulses very metric on those, so you know whenever you start hearing those, you know those are going to be solid. Okay, so you need to be listening for those. And now you have a track to practice it with. All right, so I just wanted to go through it once with you just so you could see how exposed you are, and just know that I have all the faith in the world that you're going to be just fine. All right, let's get off of here and hop on a Zoom call so I can see your faces for a quick minute. All right.